Hey, welcome to another video. This time we're going to be taking a look at Syndicate or June missions. So this is a very complicated mechanic that'll probably need a separate video to fully get into it, so let me know if you guys would want that or not. Aside from that, what the mechanic gives you is veiled mods, a specific set of mods that once you unveil will give you access in your crafting bench to craft on those mods. Some important ones include minus mana cost for non-channeling skills for rings and amulets, and fizz taken as LE on body armors and helmets. Of course, there's a ton more than that, but those are the more useful ones in most situations. Then there's 4 safe houses that, depending on which safe house and which syndicate members are in the safe house at the time you do the encounter, will give you certain rewards. Take a quick second here to say that if you like the content and want to see me do more, let me know by leaving a comment down below and subscribing. I'm working towards YouTube partnership, and every subscriber helps towards that goal. Thank you. Now, from what I looked at, there's 2 different strategies for Syndicate. Either you farm the Mastermind, or you farm the safe houses and ignore the Mastermind fight altogether. So when there's 2 different strategies, I usually do both. Now, safe house farming has definitely been nerfed since Betrayal League, as you can no longer get T4 rewards from safe houses. Also, for Mastermind farming, I will not be selling services. That includes Ashling 4, which goes on TFT for about 2.5 divines, Varici white sockets, which go for about 50 C per socket that you hit, Hillock 30% weapon, armor, 28% flask, which all go for about 150 C, which is definitely going to cut into the profits of Mastermind farming. For safe house farming, you generally want to fill up the undesirable safe houses, that being transportation and fortification, with syndicate members that you don't care about, 5 each. And you want to put the best rewards in your research and intervention safe houses. I went with Gravicius and Haku in intervention, as their gilded divination and ambush scarabs are the most expensive gilded scarabs. And for research, I put Ashling and Giannis. If you're selling services, you can put Varici here, or if you're willing to consistently buy Awakened Gems or maybe even Exceptional Gems to level, you could put Tora in here over Giannis. Ashling will always drop 2 Veiled Chaos Orbs, which go for about 20 C, and Giannis will drop random expedition currency. While they are weighted towards Astragali and scrap metal, you'll get exotic coins and burial medallions pretty often. For Mastermind farming, we're looking to put as many people into intervention as possible and fish for winged scarab drops. Other than that, if you're selling services and need the craft yourself, I would try to get Ashling in research, Hillock in anything but intervention, Varici in research, Leo in research to randomly 6-link some uniques maybe. Everyone else is kinda whatever, just stick them where they fit or kick them out of the syndicate if you don't see anyone you actually want. Also, what's going to be different with this strategy video is that I'm exclusively looking at Syndicate. I'll go over which nodes you'll want, which nodes are required, which nodes you can skip, and for each strategy, I will not be giving an entire tree for the strategy. Syndicate doesn't really care about quant, rarity, pack size, so you can take Syndicate and slot in any of the old fast mapping strategies that I've covered pretty extensively in my other videos at this point. For the test, I'm running T16 maps, running to the Syndicate encounters, clearing them, leaving, killing the final boss, and getting out of there. So, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's take a look at the Syndicate nodes on the Atlas passive tree. First off, in the bottom right, we have 2 reinforcement chance nodes, which are nice, and focused investigation, which just gives extra chance to get extra June missions on map completion. Next, in the far bottom right corner, we have extra chance for an additional veiled item to drop. Some more June missions on map completion chance, and for the notables, we have bribery, which just gives you some extra items. It's not too important, but you can get some extra currency, scarabs, or maps from the encounters. And then we have effective leadership, which gives extra chance for the leader of the safe house to show up, and that leader will drop an additional veiled item. This node is pretty important in both strategies, as if you get a T1 Syndicate member stuck in leadership, you'll want them to show up more often so that you can upgrade them by betraying them. Also, leaving important veils such as Elrion, Gravicius, or Corel in these leadership roles will give you increased chances to get their specific veiled items, which can fetch for a bit of currency. Next, moving up the tree, we have more June mission chance and the notable Test of Loyalty, which makes it so that each member gains 2 tiers instead of just 1. This is a must-have for both strategies. If Syndicate is part of any strategy that you're doing, I would take this node. Then, in the top right, we have some more reinforcement chance, which is nice, and the notable is Intelligence Gathering, which gives you extra intel towards a random Syndicate safe house. When doing Mastermind farming, this speeds up the rate in which you do the safe house encounters, which in turn increases the speed to get to the Mastermind fight. But for safe house strategy, this will actually screw up your board, most of the time forcing you to do safe houses that you don't want to do or taking less encounters and maps, which isn't great either. So, taking a look at the safe house farm strat, this strategy is definitely more involved. You'll have to sort of understand how the mechanic works, and it takes quite a bit of maps to set up correctly before you have a nice cycle going. Here's the loot for 56 maps after I set up the strat properly. The big difference you'll see between this strategy and the Mastermind strategy is that we have a lot more valuable unveils, such as Gravicious, Corel, and Elrion stocked up to sell. This late in the league, they don't sell very quickly, or for much in general, but if you were to set this up on league start early, I can see the unveil sales carrying the profit of the strat. Now aside from maps ran, I didn't really put anything else in terms of investment on the map, so this is mostly just pure profit. 10 divines, and about 1.5 divines if I were to get all the unveils sold at current market rate. In 56 maps, I was able to fight the Intervention safe house 8 times and the Research safe house 7 times. I think that's a little bit on the low end. In testing, I was able to run a safe house every 6 maps. I ran all these maps in about 2 hours, so it's about 5 divines an hour of profit. And taking a look at the Mastermind farm strat, the strategy is easier to just run over and over. It basically requires 0 setup, and you have some mini jackpot drops and Devouring Diadem from the Mastermind fight itself. Most of the profit with the strategy is going to be the winged scarabs you get from level 4 intervention members, so having 5 people at level 3 inside intervention should be your highest priority, along with Ashling 3 in research, Hillock and any of the other safe houses if you're selling services. I believe that the strategy is better overall if you're selling services or are actually later into the league where people are juicing like crazy with wing scarabs and don't really care for the unveils that would drop more in quantity with the safe house strat. Here is the loot from 56 maps running the Mastermind strat. You'll see here that I actually have a profit about 15 divines, but most of that kind of comes from me getting some lucky drops in Voidborn Reliquary keys and a Cortex. So if we take those out, it's really only about a divine-ish more than the safe house strat. In the 56 maps, I was able to fight Mastermind 4 times. I think that's a little bit on the lower end. I think I could have gotten in 5 if I gotten a little bit more lucky with the actual encounters. So, what do I think about Syndicate? I think unless you're selling services or know the intricacies of Syndicate, I would do these strategies at league start to just unlock the veiled crafts that you need, maybe sell the extras when you finish getting yours, and then once you get later into the league and unveils start dropping in price, I would just spend the master missions as you get them, running safe houses here and there, running the Mastermind fight when it's available, and not really paying attention to setting up the board correctly. It takes a lot of focus to do that. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Next video will be on Shaper Guardian map rotations, and then after that video, I think it'll be it for me this league, to be honest. I've completed 38 challenges and killed most of the Ubers, and there wasn't a build that was sticking out to me in particular for a reroll, so I'd like to take a break from the game and focus on other stuff. The Shaper Guardian video might be a week late as the Final Fantasy XIV Savage Raid comes out on Tuesday, and I'll be looking to clear it week 1 with some friends for the first time. I'll be streaming that around 8 hours a day starting Tuesday afternoon, so maybe come and hang out. Once again, thank you guys for all the support in the comments and even in the chat while I'm streaming. I appreciate it all. If you liked the video, leave a like, and let me know if you would like that more in-depth Syndicate 101 style video. Leave your comments and suggestions below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.